Shema everyone, it's JonnyVR here with another Doctor Who review. And Doctor Who's back. It's 2025. The new season just dropped its first episode. It was 8 in the morning, so we're done with midnight releases, at least for now. And yes, I'm just going to go straight into it, like you know the drill. First part will be spoiler free, and then when I go into spoiler territory, I will let you know. So if you haven't watched it, go watch it. And then I'll come back for a score at the end. But season 2 starts off with the robot revolution. I did enjoy this one, actually. Like, I thought it was more of so like compared to Space Babies in the last one, which had this really rapid opening. I did think it was a more like measured story, like from beginning to the end. Has lots of different aspects of the story, lots of characters, lots of setting up as well for the next couple of episodes. So there is that sense of it's a story in itself, but it also sets up the mystery. We have the new companion, Belinda Chandra, who it is clear that it's going to be like a different kind of companion, which I'm very interested in seeing. So I think she was very good, and I think that as throughout the episode, as it got from the beginning to the end, I thought, okay, it's becoming more and more clear what form her companion is going to take and how this is going to be in the rest of the season. But I did think she was really good. The robots as well, like the whole design of the episode, I really liked. I thought there was a lot of good prosthetics and design going into this episode. So I think Ncuti is back. You know, he's being the same as he was before. Like he's great in the role. I think the script is equal parts interesting and funny. It has some very nice humoured moments throughout, and I think that's it. I think there's a lot of like it. What I was thinking as well. So by the end of the episode, as it starts to like, okay, bring the story to a close and set up what's next. Like I get the feeling that the setup and the setup for the episode and the setup for the rest of the season is like sandwiching the actual story of the robot revolution, which is fine because you know you got a whole season ahead. But like I like the story of the robot revolution itself is an interesting one. It is a time travel show and it makes use of this very nicely. There's a lot of fun things throughout the episode, fun little moments that I thought were interesting and were kind of unique and hadn't been done in Doctor Who before. Yeah, I did really enjoy it. I think it was a stronger season opener. Like from the trailers, we have seen like a lot of we kind of know the vibe of the season from the trailers, like the overall story arc. Hopefully, I think there's going to be more layers. I think in these years, Russell Series is adding lots and lots of layers of a season arc. But I think that we knew what was kind of broadly happening in this series with regards to the new companion. And so it all starts here. I think I did enjoy it. I think it was a strong season opener for this reason, and I did enjoy, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the episodes. Yeah, I'll go into a bit more spoiler detail now, but I really enjoyed it. So stay tuned at the end. You know, go watch the episode, come back. This is your spoiler warning. So yeah, it starts off with Belinda Chandra, the new companion. The focus is on her, and she gets given a star certificate by her boyfriend or whoever. This guy called Alan Budd, and I think that here's a bit like different in this opening scenes, like you can tell. But I think that what was they jump 17 years later, and of course they're not like a thing anymore, and it's like her adult life, and she's working in a hospital. And I think that this this whole episode kicks into gear when the doctor is in the hospital looking for her, and then in the middle of the night, then she gets kidnapped by the robots. So this is one thing. This happens kind of very early in the episode, and I was a bit like, okay, her house has been absolutely destroyed, like these robots, and she shares the house with like other people as well. And everyone just kind of takes this in their stride, like their house is not like being completely destroyed. Like, and she did say, makes a joke about the landlord, and I did think this was a bit. It was a bit of a stretch. I would think if there's giant robots in your house destroying your house, you would have a bit more of a serious response. But everything was kind of like measured. I think there was so I think this was a bit odd. She does come across Mrs. Flood again. So Mrs. Flood is now her neighbor, or yeah, I don't know. It was not clear whether like she is like Mrs. Flood's other neighbor, like they both live either side of Mrs. Flood, her and Ruby, or whether Mrs. Flood is just there to pay attention and to keep watch. But she's there again, nothing really revealed, just keeping watch, I think, and saying to the camera that we didn't see her there. So maybe she isn't actually the neighbor. She's just like watching. But then again, the robots, they kill a cat. I know, like I thought this was like, I can't believe they did that. They just like vaporized the cat like on screen. But I did think it was actually one thing I thought about the robots was that the way that their faces become emojis, very similar to the episode Smile. So I did wonder. I don't know if anyone else picked up on this, but I wonder like whether at the end of Smile, when they have the humans and the robots, the emoji robots, sort of having to build a new society, I was wondering whether this planet, which is funny enough called the Miss Belinda Chandra Planet 1 or whatever, was the future version of the planet that they encountered in Smile, because things start to get like different at this point. So the robots take her, the doctor follows, and then they have this first time fracture reality shift sort of thing where like, things go weird and starts like, cutting in and out, and which we also saw from the trailer. So I figured there's going to be a lot more of that in this season. And it's definitely really like timey-wimey, timelines going everywhere. So they take her to the planet as the queen, and she's like sort of welcomed by some humans, and we find out that the robot revolution has already happened and they're in charge. Funny enough, the doctor is also there with the people, and he's known as like the historian, so like he has the story, and came to this point where he's explaining the history of the planet to her, but sending her a message. And I thought this was really cool. This is one of the episodes I really liked the most, where the robots cannot understand every ninth word. So he's telling in it, like after every 8 words, he says one word that can convey a message. And it was, I thought this was a really cool aspect, and to hear or to see Belinda pick up on it and be able to, respond in the same way is like, good companion, quick thinking material. She actually, then the robots want her to marry the AI generator, which was again, I think the design of this looks cool. I like the robot design. I like the little polished robot design, and the AI generator design looks very much like a transformer. I thought it was really cool. I liked the overall design of all of these things. And they want to make her like human machine, that kind of thing, which again is like borderline Cyberman like territory, but it doesn't really go much further than that. It's just like, are they gonna do this like cyber conversion thing? And then what you have, so basically the doctors has arranged for this escape. The humans are like rebels. They all escape. A lot of them die, actually. There's a lot of action, I think, in this scene, which I think was pretty cool. robots shooting lasers, robots being destroyed, humans being killed, people coming from the roof. I thought action was really cool. Lots of people will die actually in this scene, and then they manage to get taken out. And it's clear that the Doctor has been there for 6 months actually, and that the rebels, he actually got close to one in particular, Sasha 55, who doesn't make it. So there's a lot of the timelines is really you have to piece together what's going on, and it becomes clear throughout the episode. So when what I liked again about this episode and about her introduction as the companion is that after she gets rescued, they go to this base or army camp, where there's injured people, the rebel base, that kind of thing, and she kind of is already straight in there, being working in a hospital, and she's trying to see what she can help with, helping people who are injured. And I think this is really cool because shows an independent side, that she's just straight up going in there and doing what she can to help. I think this is really strong companion material. And then it starts to explain more and more of what's going on about the star chart, and they think that she's the queen. They got the star chart from some point in the future, went back for her, and then but when they came back, it was they came back 5,000 years ago and ended up being the foundation myth of the planet, which again was very much this timeline is very timey-wimey to figure out, and it still hasn't, I think, been resolved, because the Doctor said something. Let me see what I've written here. He said he was told about Belinda from someone. That someone was a he. And he said he can't help because the timelines are important. So there's so many little throwaway lines in this that are gonna lead to something, I'm sure, in this season, because he was already aware of Belinda. There's lots to go, and he recognizes her as Mundy Flynn from Boom, which again makes you wonder whether they're gonna go into this in a lot of detail or not. I think it makes clear at the end of the episode. So the robot revolution happened 10 years prior to their arrival, and then they need to find what happened 10 years ago and things like that. I think it was okay, so they had this line which was in the trailer about her calling herself the nurse to when the Doctor introduced himself as the Doctor. I did think in the trailer this was quite cringy. I didn't like it so much, so I'm glad that it kind of was a throwaway line, and after that they just keep calling her Belinda. Fine. Then it was actually when she actually uses the polish robot again. Really cute. Makes me think of Gadget, except he says polish. So the robots trace the polish robot, which went with them, and take her. And she's taking matters into her own hands, and she goes to do the marriage with this AI generator. Then they find out that the AI generator is actually not AI, but it's AL for Alan, who is her boyfriend from all that time ago. Because in the spaceship she was so why are you after me? You should go get him, Alan. He's the one with the star certificate. He's the one who gave it to me. And they listened to it. But then that was when they came back 10 years ago, and he then took over and took control. I did think it was I thought this was really cool, and I think his design, his prosthetics was again really cool. Fits in with the whole episode, with his robot pieces all over his face. I thought it was really awesome. And then what happens is he has the star certificate. She has the same star certificate, and we know these objects won't match because they're the same thing at different points in time. And basically the machine underlying is again using this 8-word or 9-word thing. So he's saying stuff, but every 9th word is help me, he's in pain, or at least the robot system is. So there is something to save here. And then, of course, they touch the 2 star certificates and things go absolutely mental. And again, there's some ambiguity here about what actually happened, because they had this like scene of like, cut in and freeze frame in, and like at one point I think it was Belinda old, and they had Alan old, and like the Doctor was in there at some point as well. And then after that, the Doctor starts saying stuff like, "Oh, I went right all through your timeline," and there was a picture of him holding the baby, like baby Belinda. So I like, what does that mean? Like when he says, "I went through your timeline," does it mean he just saw everything and now he knows everything about her, or he is like in her timeline, like Clara when she went in, like she was in the Doctor's timeline throughout his life? Because that would be something mega. Like that would be quite a change if like Belinda and the Doctor are connected, really. But yeah. So eventually, then this basically Alan gets shrunk down and swept up by Polish Robot. Really nice. And then they go home, pretty much. The robot's free from the AI generator. The robots and the humans now will work together to build this society. If they're the robots from Smile and the humans from Smile, it was what it was always meant to be in the first place. In my head, I think I like this idea. And then you have them in the TARDIS. And so this is the thing. The story is concluded by this point, but they still have a good portion of the end of the episode where they can talk about getting her home. And this is the thing. At this point, Belinda Chandra shows why she's going to be a very different companion. Like, what I see is almost like as a companion who doesn't want to be a companion. Because, like, he's clear with her. Like, this is the thing. When it was Clara, he kept it secret from her why he was seeing lots of Claras. But now he was clear with her that, like, I've seen, like, your descendant. So Monday Flynn is a descendant, and like he's showing her the genetics and stuff like that, and she's like, but you took my DNA and you scanned it without permission, and then the Doctor has to take responsibility and say, like, I'm sorry. And she doesn't want to be like an adventure, like one of the Doctor's adventures. She just wants to go home, which I think is really cool. I think they'll see a lot of this conflict between them this season, and I'm all for it because it's very different, and it could be like this awkward confrontation between the Doctor and the companion. I think this is really cool. So yeah, then she wants to go home. They start going, and the TARDIS cannot go there, and it's bouncing off May 24th specifically. So I think this is really interesting, and we're going to see how this unfolds in the season. He's not able to get her home at the moment. They'll have to go elsewhere. But why May 24th is the date? It's very similar to, I think, why was it June 26th or Amy's wedding? No, it was also May or June. No, June. Lake Silencio. Like, all of these has important dates that are like fixed. Amy's wedding, Lake Silencio. Now we've got May 24th for some reason. We'll find out why this is important. But it keeps bouncing off. And then this ends with like a really cool sort of season arc setting up cliffhanger that I really liked, when they keep bouncing off, going back to planet Earth. And then of course the episode ends with debris from Earth, London taxis, Eiffel Tower, pyramids, a calendar leading to May 24th. Again, this is cool. It shows like how high the stakes are, but again, like, they were literally just there. Did they not see this debris? And how did this debris floated all the way across the distance? But anyway, it sets up the series, and I'm very excited for it. So overall, I really enjoyed this episode. Strong season opener. Different type of companion. Very excited to see how it plays up. The production quality on this episode, I really did like the design of all the robots. Ncuti Gatwa's back in the role, and he's trying to get her home. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the rest of this season goes, the multiple story arcs. and it's a good setup. So I think I'm gonna give it an 8, because I did enjoy it a lot. So let me know what you guys think. I'll be back on as the weeks go by with more reviews as these episodes drop. So leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. I'll do my best to respond. And I hope you enjoy your Saturday. I will see you next time. Bye.